Hello again, I'm Tripp Rogers, and this is Tripp's Take. Well, this is one of those Tripp's Takes that, I'm going to sit there and get a little philosophical for you, because Saturday will mark my 65th birthday. Yes, I have made it to the quote-unquote golden years. And when I think back, it's amazing that I've got to this point. I mean, how did I get so old? Now, I don't feel old, although in some ways I do. I used to be able to just get out of bed and get going, start the day, off we go, whatever. And now I got to sit on the side of the bed for a couple of minutes just to gather my thoughts to get going. Of course, a couple of years ago, I had a hip replacement, and that certainly helped my outlook on life. And like I said, I don't have any problems with it. It's just, like I said, I am feeling old. And I can't run as fast. I can't do as much as I used to, but I try. I think I'm doing okay. I'm still like to walk. I'm still active. So knock wood, I'm doing okay. But again, in other ways, I do feel old. Of course, the fact my daughter is going to turn 28 this year kind of emphasizes the fact that I am getting up there. Of course, the really funny part is when you see kids that you've watched grow up all their lives graduate high school, and you go, oh boy, not too long ago they were little types, and yeah, they looked up to you and thought you were a great person. Now they just look at you and go, are you kidding me? But the one thing I will say about my life is I have some great friendships, and I have some good relationships with people who I have known throughout the years. And a lot of those relationships are with ex-girlfriends. I sometimes get along really well with them, and we talk all the time. There are some who don't talk to me, and there are some reasons for that, but we still are, nice to each other, and we do correspond, but not in the way perhaps that I wish it could have been, because there have been some instances along the way where I have hurt them. Not intentionally, but I have hurt them. Of course, in every blown relationship, somebody gets hurt, so somebody's upset. And again, it falls on me. I'll take the hit because I was the knucklehead. But I'm lucky. I have a lot of those relationships. But birthdays, this is my 65th birthday. I've celebrated a lot of them. Again, I've mentioned before when I talk about birthdays, I don't think you can top my 18th. Able to drink legally, graduated high school, and those are the two biggies. Got the right to vote too, but those two moments are what you live for. It's your ticket to the big time, as the old saying goes. Now they have changed the alcohol age to 21. Which I don't have a problem with. I even thought that back when I was 18, because it just gave me a license to do something stupid and my friends to do something stupid. But, the funny part of it is you're adults now, and occasionally I will do something stupid. I'm not going to be above that. But the other side of it is I have lived, I have learned, I hope. Although maybe in some ways I'm regressing. See, on Facebook, I have become interested again in HO slot cars, and I've purchased a few online. Of course, now I have the cash to do this hobby. And for Father's Day, Sandy and Matthew got me a new HO slot car track. Of course, I got to find room up here in this mess that's known as my studio to set it up, but that's a goal. And I'm looking forward to doing that, because I used to love it. My sister and I used to sit downstairs and race slot cars all the time. I had a pretty big set too, but unfortunately haven't looked at my HO slot cars in a long time. I found them the other day, I opened them up, and I think I just need to do a little cleanup, but I'm surprised at the number of slot cars I have and the number of cars that I remember having. I don't think I've looked at them since 1976. So I'm going to have to ask some friends who are into the sport a little more what I've got to do to kind of recondition these cars to get them to work, because I really would want to. But again, I got to set up the track, and that's going to be the next big step because, without a track, you can't really run HO slot cars, right? That's the way it goes. But, as they all say, we kind of regress and our hobbies kind of backtrack into things we did when we were younger. And that is one of the things I did when I was younger, because now you have the time for it. And some people golf, because again, you have the time for it. I don't know where I'm going to find the time, but they say you're supposed to have the time for it. So yeah, I'll do it, So I also, at this time of my birthday, I think about those who have not made it to 65. And specifically, my best friend, Scott, who I miss, passed away 4 years ago in November. I miss him every day. And my buddy, Representative John Adler, who was just a couple months older than I was. And we bonded during a political campaign and kept in touch. And he was a great man. And I think the world of him. And I miss him a lot because I loved our conversations. We had many of them. He was a special person. And Lord knows politics could use more special people like John Adler these days. So those are the two people I mentioned, but I know I have other classmates who've passed away and didn't make it to 65. 65 is a number, but 65 is somewhat of a milestone. And, the other thing about my birthday, and I've talked about this before, I'm sure, it comes so close to Father's Day. And my daughter has decided to give me one gift for Father's Day and my birthday. And that's only fair because I think the best present I ever got for my birthday was being a father. I say that with all sincerity. Stephanie is the pride and joy of my life. I am so proud of her. Every day she becomes, she can tell a story like my sister and her mother, and I guess she's got a little in me in here. Just hysterical when she goes off on her rants. She's funny. I only hope she makes the right decision about going for a PhD. But she wants to do it, and I'm going to let her, and I hope she does it. But I'm proud of her no matter what she does, because she's given me such joy over the last 27 years, 28 years almost. It's indescribable. That is the best birthday present ever. And that's going to wrap up Tripp's Take for June the 20th, 2024. Now, I'd love to hear your comments and questions about my podcast. Just email trippstake@gmail.com. We are in the month of June. Fantasy football players, get ready. The season is going to be here. Just reactivated the Fantasy Sultans League. So you need to get some insight. We'll have new editions of the Fantasy Sultans with the Hall of Famer Mike Sheck and yours truly coming to your local podcasting host. We're on Spotify for podcasters and YouTube. Just search for Fantasy Sultans. Like the music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s? I got you covered. WTRSradio.com. You can also search for it on lives365.com. Find us closely in the 60s. We're one of the top stations in that bracket, so you can find us there. Join us again next week. For now, I am Tripp Rogers. Thank you very much, and have yourself a great week, and make it a great one.